What's up, Division Members? Enrico here, and this might be a little surprising that I'm doing a Berserk review on a Sunday, but I figured I have some time, and I couldn't wait any longer. I couldn't wait another day to read some Berserk. It's been about 2 weeks since I did a review because I was sick last week. I'm feeling a little better, so I figured I'd go ahead and read this volume, and maybe I'll read volume 33 tomorrow and do a review for that as well to give you guys a little treat and treat myself to some Berserk as well. The only problem with doing that is I only have up to volume 33, so I need to buy volume 34, and if I do that, then I might not have it for next Monday. So maybe I'll just review this today and then do volume 33 next week. But first I want to say in this volume, it felt a little different. The quality is really nice in this volume. I've really enjoyed it. The paper feels nice. But I want to show you guys something a little different that they did in this volume. And that is, between each chapter, we get a different look at, like, we get this page right here. It says Berserk. And it has kind of like a faded out picture of Guts. We have another one where it has like a faded out picture of like Griffith. Here's another one of Guts. It's just something that they're doing different from this point on, I guess. I'm going to assume that all the volumes from 32 and on are going to have this type of style. Before, you would just get like a blank page that said Berserk. Now we have an actual image in the background. So I thought that was a neat little addition to the volumes. I really enjoyed that. And you know, people are saying, well, what's this have to do with what happened in the volume? Well, this is a volume review. So obviously I can talk about the quality of the book as well. A lot of full cover spreads in this volume, and I really enjoyed that as well. It felt like the artwork was really on point, more so than usual. I mean, the art is always amazing with Kentaro Miura, but in this volume, it just felt really on point. The detail was amazing. We had a lot of double page spreads, which was really nice to see. Going back to the whole like little image between chapters, here's one with Griffith being birthed as Femto during the eclipse. So, like I said, I thought that was a really neat addition to the volumes, and hopefully they continue to do that. But some of these double page spreads are absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to find one for you right now. I mean, look at the detail in this spread right here. That's the little details of the army and whatnot. It's absolutely beautiful. And honestly, if you guys don't collect these volumes and you're a Berserk fan, you're doing yourself a great disservice, and you should be collecting the volumes simply because you should want to support this amazing series. And this volume in particular really surprised me with the quality and presentation of the content. So I'm really happy to own this one. And hopefully they continue to do so from this point on. Even though I believe there's only 5 other volumes or whatever. But there you go. So now in this volume, we end off with Zod taking Guts down into the water. And they basically say they have to work together. And they decide to work together. What I really enjoyed was sort of the flashback of Zod talking to Sonya, you know, Grunbeld and what's his name, the Locust Knight, or the Twilight Knight, whatever his name is, kind of warning him and whatnot, and Sonya basically giving him a prophecy and saying, you're going to either be able to fight the one that damaged you before, the sword that damaged you before, or you're going to use it as your weapon. Basically meaning, are you going to fight your rival, which is Guts, or are you going to work together to defeat a common foe? You know, and that's the prophecy, the divination that Sonya delivers to Zod before he sets off. Before they set off, him and her and Mule to go talk to the Holy Seas Pontiff. So it was cool to see a little bit of flashback before all these events occurred. I really enjoyed seeing that, and obviously Zod and Guts have to work together. They take out Ganishka by going between the brows after using information given by Shirke and defeating him. And even Daiba was like, what the fuck? Like, they actually hurt the Emperor? And from this point on, you know, Guts wanted to basically fight Zod. Zod's like, we'll do it another day, so we just bloody each other to our heart's content. And then he goes, but where's Griffith? And basically it came down to, if Guts was going to impede Griffith's march onto Vitranis, Zod and the army would eliminate him at that point, and then Serpico stepped in and said, you don't care about these fight against monsters, you know, between monsters, and they departed ways. And then that's where we see the second part of the invasion of the Kushan happens, and this is when things get even crazier. The double spreads get out of control. I really loved them though. And it just went really fast. It was a fast-paced volume, a lot of artwork, a lot of really nice artwork. And Griffith makes his move. And we see Griffith and Ganishka face to face. That was an absolutely great encounter. However, it comes to a stalemate because Griffith uses his knowledge of Ganishka's, like, you know, ethereal body, his mist body, which we learn is used with wind and water, you know, elements around him. And he uses the sea breeze from the sea to push and disperse Ganishka's mist body, but they can't take him captive because he could just become a ethereal mist body again. So it's sort of a stalemate, and he says, how about we do our battle in the royal capital, where basically Ganishka has turned it into a demon city. So that is going to be absolutely crazy to see. For whatever reason, Griffith wants to fight there, I guess because he figures that's the perfect place to put an end to the Kushan threat. And after Ganishka leaves, we get to see everything that Griffith has been planning from the beginning, from his reincarnation into the world during the mock eclipse, has come to fruition. And what I mean by that is, you know, I said before in my previous volume reviews that he's been putting his image, the white hawk of light or whatever, in all these people's minds and whatnot by going through dreams. He even did it to the Midland King. And that was brought up in this conversation. You know, the dignitaries, the former nobles of Midland basically told Griffith to go fuck himself. You're not the regular army. You're not the leader. By whose name? This, that, and the other thing. Weren't you imprisoned? And it's sort of like a debate going on. And once again, Griffith pretty much one-upped and got the upper hand on every single point that these former dignitaries made. Owen's there as well. And Owen sort of took Griffith and Charlotte's side. You know, first they made a point where, you know, you're not noble born, this, that, and the other thing. Why should you be the leader of the regular army? And then Charlotte came out and said, you know, Sir Griffith is my husband-to-be. He's my fiancé. I'm making him the supreme commander of the regular army, and he's soon to be king, basically. And then they said, you know, Lord Vandeman, Farnese's father, says, well, what about the Holy See's Preemptive? You know, shouldn't he be the one that says who's going to have the supreme command over all the armies in the realm of Midland to fight against Kushan? This isn't just Midland's fight. And that's where I said before in my volume review where basically gaining the Preemptive's, or the Pontiff's, whatever his name is, he's like a pope pretty much, gaining his favor will help Griffith in gaining control of all the armies that are in his realm, which is Midland, against the Kushan. And this dude shows up with Mule and Sonya, and the look on Sonya's face when she sees Charlotte kneeling down with Griffith was absolutely crazy. You could tell in her eyes that she's upset and she's jealous, basically. And I don't know if she's going to try to get rid of Charlotte later down the road. I don't know, but I could see that possibly happening. But either way, getting back to the point that I wanted to make, this dude comes out, the old man, the Pope, whatever you want to call him, and he says, you know, this is the divine revelation. This is the white hawk of the light. You know, this is our God. This is who we should put our backing to. And that's when everybody's like, the white hawk of light. Where did I hear that before? Oh, I had that dream. And like I said before, guys, this was Griffith planning from the very beginning, planting those seeds into people's minds to gain their favor, to gain their support, to gain their you know, their morale and whatnot. And that's what he did. He planted those seeds, and that's all these people are like, oh, I had that dream. And then all of a sudden they start cheering. He's our savior. And now Griffith is on top of the world, basically. He is going to become the new ruler of Midland. He has the princess's support. He's married to the princess. And now he has the Holy See's Pope's support as well. So Griffith is in a position to basically rule all of Midland and turn it into his own empire, which is the Falconian Empire or whatever. That's the name of the whole arc. So in this volume, it was really nice to see everything come full circle with Griffith. Even though he's a bastard, you know, he raped Casca, he is doing everything for his ambition, for his goal, for his dream. And I kind of admire that. I kind of respect that. But the things that he did in the past kind of don't make up for what he's doing now. And I wonder what the people of Midland are going to think once they find their would-be savior, their would-be hero, their would-be god is actually a monster himself. So I look forward to seeing if they have to eventually show their true forms to the regular people of Midland and how they're going to react to everything. I could see it being a very bad situation if it comes to that point. But overall, the volume was really well done. Like I said, the presentation that Dark Horse and the quality they put in this specific volume, and if they continue to do this from this point on, I'm going to be very happy. I have no problem spending the $10, $12, $13 for these volumes. The double spreads were absolutely amazing in this, and I heard in volume 34 they get even crazier, and the artwork is like pretty much at Kentaro Miura's like finest in volume 34. So I can't wait to get that. I might order that today or in a couple days. I want to order that with some the new JoJo manga and some actual American comics. So I will be getting volume 34 and beyond. I'm going to probably just get all the way up to 37 if I can. And then at the end of this, we see them on the ship, and Azon's there, the former higher up of the Holy Sea Iron Chain Knights, and he's like kind of sparring with Isidro, and we got to see Farnese start her journey into the magic realm, projecting herself into the astral realm. She has an astral body now. She's kind of like going outside with Shirke, so it was nice to see Farnese starting her journey and learning more about magic. But I really liked the conversation between these two. Farnese saying, I thought I had no place amongst the group. Then you guys came for me, and I said, even then, I thought I had some kind of significance, some kind of role. Basically, even if it's Casca's babysitter. But now she can use magic, so she's even happier. Where Shirke is the opposite. She thought there was no significance in people. There were these detestable people, these people that are just like savages. She wanted her place to be with Flora the entire time, and she's sort of the opposite from Farnese. So I really enjoyed that conversation. They're kind of like, they're having like a girl talk basically. Shirke is Farnese's teacher, Farnese is her student, but they can actually relate to one another, and even though they're opposites, they understand each other's feelings and whatnot. So I thought that was a really good way of showing us how much Shirke and Farnese have developed since their introduction into the series. And then we see them outside floating around, and Guts and Casca seem to look up at them. I'm going to assume they were able to see them in some sort of way, since they were both touched by the intersights at one point. And that's how the volume ends. And once again, it ends on a really, really beautiful note. The double spread was absolutely enjoyable right here. I love this double spread for the ending of it. This is the second to last page, or the third to last page or whatever. Them floating in the air, enjoying their time together, and Shirke teaching Farnese about the world of magic with Evalera there as well. So just the detail in this double spread is absolutely amazing. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but right in here you can see the wind still like helping them fly and stuff. It's just absolutely beautiful. This volume really blew me away, and I can't wait to read the next 5 or so, because I heard volume 34 has a crazy, 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 crazy double spread. Look at this. Oh my god. This is probably one of my favorite spreads in this volume. The blow that Guts and Zod give the Ganishka between his brows. And Guts is just like, they're all, Guts and Zod are electrified, and you can see the lightning on like Zod's body and on Guts' Berserker armor. It's absolutely incredible. But I don't want to fangasm too much, guys. I don't do that, but this volume really, really threw me away, and blew me away, and I'm feeling somewhat better, so I wanted to get into this. This is a little bit of a treat for me, I guess, and I wanted to get this review out. I'm sorry if I kind of what's the word? Meandered on things, but I wanted to fanboy a little bit for this. I really don't do it that often, and this volume really deserves it. Just the overall quality, the overall presentation was just enjoyable, and it was on point. But if you don't own Berserk, you should really pick it up if you're a Berserk fan. If you love Berserk, I really, really do urge you guys to spend a little bit extra money that Dark Horse wants you to spend to own these volumes. This one particularly is absolutely incredible. But they're worth owning, guys, and they're not much money. 10, 11, 12, 13 bucks. You go the right stuff, you can get them pretty cheap. But now I'm just starting to ramble on about other things. What are your thoughts on this volume? What are your thoughts on Griffith making moves? Him planting those seeds from the very beginning. Him basically having this all planned out since his reincarnation into the physical realm at the mock eclipse. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Farnese and Shirke's conversation, and how Farnese has finally taken the first step into the magic realm, pretty much? What are your thoughts on Guts and Zod teaming up? What are your thoughts on Griffith and Ganesha meeting face to face, and Griffith just being completely stoic and calm in the eye of his arch enemy at this current moment? I thought it was absolutely incredible. And in typical Griffith fashion, going back to the Golden Age arc, I just want to say this before I end this video. He basically one-upped his opponent using strategy and tactics, not brute force. And this is what we've seen him do over and over and over and over again in the Golden Age arc. In particular, the Battle of Doldry, that impregnable fortress. Remember his strategy during then? It's the type of same type of shit that he's doing now in his current Band of the Hawk. So it was a really nice throwback to the strategy and tactics that he used back during the Golden Age arc. And it really did put into perspective to me that Ganesha might be overwhelmingly powerful, but he is defeatable. So I look forward to see how Ganesha's rule is going to end, because I can't see Griffith not getting his kingdom now after all the moves that he made. But that's all I have for you guys. Like the video if you feel I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I greatly appreciate it. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.